All right, welcome back to my channel. I know this is only my second video, but I really just have not had time at all lately to make a video or just make a video, I guess, because I have done personal readings. That was last month, so I've been a little back focused on my thesis, focused on next steps for me when it comes to career, finishing grad school, moving back home, that type of stuff. But if you are just catching me, welcome. My name is Xochitl. This channel is called Uarhiiti.Tsitsiti, which is Mujer Flor, woman flower. My name means flower, and the whole thing is in Purépecha, which is my ancestral lineage. So welcome for a lot of you that are actually new to my channel. Unless I have folks that follow me from Instagram here. Welcome. I just wanted to come on and give a reading. I know that we are just shifting into the sun in Gemini, so we're in Gemini season. Happy birthday to all the Geminis. And also we have a pretty impactful, beautiful like astrological event happening on the 23rd, and I believe that's maybe when there's a full moon in Sagittarius as well. So definitely really good energy overall to get our projects going, kind of with the intention that we planted back in during the eclipse season. So I just wanted to come on, and also just like as I'm waiting for my charcoal, is to just kind of give you guys a quick and brief I guess update / downloads. So I don't know if anybody else is kind of going through the same thing, but at least for me, this year has just been like a clearing year, where a lot of people that I thought were going to be in my life, that's just the AC, the people that I thought were going to be in my life for a very long time, like spirit has just cleared those people from my life as well. It's been a very like painful and challenging experience, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm already like a very introverted individual, already very like already very hard of trusting people, and on top of that, for me to lose like a very important person in my life, it's been very like, I don't know what the word is. I wouldn't say devastating. I'm not like falling apart, which is good, but I would just say that it's just really disappointing. It's just really disappointing, because this is kind of like a common thread that has happened to me with friends. So I'll just tell you guys. So I had this really good friend for the past like 4.5 years, and I really just thought that this person, like I was the most intimate with this individual, like emotionally, spiritually, sharing everything that I could. I don't have a lot of physical, materialistic things to offer right now because I'm in grad school, and I don't make a lot of money currently because of grad school. And I don't know, I know that has something to do with it, in the realm that this person was like helping me out a lot financially over the past, I would say 2 years especially. And it has just been really devastating, or not devastating, but just disappointing that, I shared myself to this person. I was honest. I went really deep. I allowed, because the thing with me and being in my life is that it's not simple, and I wish that I maybe would have been a different person. That I maybe would have been a different person, or that I didn't have all the traumas that I have, or that I wasn't healing so much of what I'm healing now, but I am, and that's the truth, and that's just where I'm at. So a lot of my trauma, right, impacts the way, a lot of childhood trauma for me impacts the way that I relate to people, and I'm able to connect to people in my adulthood, right? And it's been really hard because I wasn't taught how to properly relate to people. I wasn't taught how to build intimate connections. I wasn't taught how to, give help and receive help. Maybe give help, yeah, but definitely not receive it. And then what do you do with that interaction? What do you I was brought up definitely knowing that things were, I definitely grew up knowing that things were, this over here, that, energy had to be reciprocated, things had to be reciprocated. I wish it was blowing towards me. but I just never really also learned how to value the things that I do give, and I think that because I don't value them, that people think that what I give isn't worth anything, is worthless. And a lot of what I give is my insight, my intuition, being able to read cards, being able to listen to my friends, non-judgment, unconditional love. Those are the things that I'm able to offer right now, right, while I'm in grad school. So it's been a really difficult journey to be in friendship. For me, my dog came out. It's definitely been a very a scar of mine for a really long time, because ever since I can remember, since being a kid, it was really hard for me to make friends. It was really hard for me to keep friends. Often, when I was young, it was because I wasn't cool. I was just a quiet girl, and I was also conventionally unattractive, so I didn't really have a lot of friends there. But then when I did become conventionally attractive, people just wanted to be in my life because I added to their group, right? I was this curiosity, this mystery, of beauty, in their group. But people really they were very shallow surface relationships. People never really, people really never took the time to get to know each other. It was the friendships, I know for me, a lot of it in college were based off of partying, and I had pretty friends who liked to party and who we all looked good together as a group, right? That was high school and undergrad for me. And I honestly feel, so for me, beauty and all of that, and putting my self-worth in that, for me, it's been a journey to try to remove myself from that as much as I can, and have body neutrality and all of that. But it is hard in this society. So anyways, not me being ADHD, but yeah, so Spirit just kind of showed me, or, you know, recently removed this person from my life. And it was really scary. It was really scary for me because I was already in a point where last year I, you know, stopped talking to my sister, who I was really close with. And that was because, you know, I walked on stage last year for my master's, and I had invited a group of my friends. And, and like one of my friends and like my sister had beef with one of my friends, and it just, like, it was just hostile, and like I just felt like the focus was on that, on how upset my sister was, on how she wasn't happy that friend was there, on how I was spending time with my friends, even though it's like I could do whatever I want. You know what I mean? I'm a 33-year-old woman. Like, I could do whatever I want. You know, I could have the friends that I want. And I just felt like my sister just really does not understand that. And we just have some, like, weird codependence. We had some weird codependency with each other, you know, trauma bonded for sure. And I get it. It was hard, but at least I communicated to her that, like, until, you know, therapy's involved and until she can reflect enough on herself, that I wasn't going to pursue that conversation, right? Or, like, almost they say, like, remedy or resolve the stuff, because I couldn't continue anymore. Like, I just couldn't continue, because how can my sister care more about who she likes and who she doesn't like in my life than to just, like, you know, put that away for a second and or communicate and let me just have a good weekend, you know, let me have a good graduation weekend with all the people that I love. And she doesn't understand that. Until this day, we haven't spoken. And honestly, she treats me like it was my fault, like I did something wrong. So that was that. So that my sister's not in my life anymore, which also means that my niece, her daughter, isn't in my life, which is really messed up, because that's the fourth nibbling that a sister has kind of estranged from me. I have another older sister, which she stopped talking to me and my other sister a long time ago. I come from a family that's very traumatized, very, very traumatized. We don't know how to solve issues. We don't know how to problem solve. We don't know how to talk things through. We just know how to, like, exit people's lives, right? So that's essentially the common theme of my life, of people in my life. And unfortunately, you know, I've a lot of people this year that were really important to me, like a person who I, you know, called, she wasn't my my real mom. I don't have a mom. I don't have a relationship with my biological mother. Where was I? Oh yeah, I lost that connection as well to that person, because it was convenient for them to reach out to me whenever they needed me to, like, listen to them and, like, give them advice. But when it came to, you know, me going out back home and, like, setting a plan to meet them, and then them, like, flaking on me constantly, I just didn't seem like I was a priority. And anytime I had anything come up in my life, like, it was just kind of really glossed over, or dismissed really quickly, and, like, quickly everything turned back around to being about that person and talking about that person. which I don't mind. Like, I really don't. I love hearing, especially elders, I love hearing their stories. I love hearing their knowledge. I love hearing their philosophy, their outlook on life. So for me, that I don't mind that. But when I need help, I hope that people would listen to me. So that person, like, because, and all of this happens because I bring it up to the people, right? So to my sister, we probably would have been talking still. Oh, thank God that thing's off. Okay. We probably would have been talking still if it wasn't that I said, I don't feel comfortable continuing this relationship anymore. With my mentor / mother figure, same thing. I brought it up to her in January and she left me on red. And now it's happening with this friend who did some really backhanded stuff. And I let them know that I wasn't okay, and I wasn't okay with someone who calls me their best friend, hurts me, and then disappears from my life, doesn't even follow up, doesn't even say, hey, let's talk, let's hash this out, doesn't try to find any resolution, and just honestly just left me out in the cold. Literally. So I would say that this is probably the loneliest I've ever been, the most alone I've ever been, but also this is when I've been able to stand up for myself the most, and this is also when I've been able to, this is the closest I've been to myself, right? I've chosen not to abandon myself anymore. Sorry guys, just cleaning these as I talk. So yeah, and honestly, like, immediately when all these times have been scary, right? Because I'm already, like I said, I'm already very alone. I already have like issues or trouble, challenges feeling safe with people. So for me, it takes a really long time to develop a friendship, and that means that I invest a lot of energy to get it there. So when things like this happen, it's really scary for me, because I'm just like, who's gonna catch me if I fall? And these, 3 people have been really important in my life. But at the same time, I'm able to hear spirit more clearly. I'm able to hear, one sec. Okay. I'm able to hear spirit more clearly, more loudly. I'm able to hear my ancestors, feel my guides, and that's exactly what happened in this situation, where I get this text message, essentially someone, this friend telling me some really harsh news in a very insensitive way, in a very inconsiderate way, and like, I just felt my whole body panic, and my whole, it was just like a whole body, like, fear, like, tension in my body. And just like, I felt so disrespected. I felt so disposable. But immediately I kept hearing, something better is coming. Something better is coming. Something better is coming. And I just kept hearing it over and over and over and over and over and over. And this just, to me, signifies also that, my self-critics, my critics, my inner critics, my managers, my protectors, are quieting down and are allowing other parts of me to come in and to take care of me. So in that moment, I felt reassured by spirit. I felt reassured by life that everything's going to be okay. And I don't know what any of that's going to look like in the next 2.5 months. 3 months, I don't have no idea what that's going to look like, but I'm just going to trust that, you know, spirit has my back, because, you know, no matter what, no matter who I am or how complicated I am or how much in the trenches I am emotionally, like spiritually, like I know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? Like spiritually, I know who I am. And that's what saves me every single time. So I just wanted to come on and share that with you all. If you're going through, for those of you who are going through something similar to that, for those of you who are at this point in your life where you're like, I'm doing so much work, I'm really trying to, you know, move my life forward in a good way, and I'm trying to be a good person, and I'm really trying to like heal my traumas, but at the same time you're looking around you and there's nobody. I see you. I'm in it with you. We're in this together, and we're gonna make it through. I know we will. And I just hope that, you know, we find our safe space, our safe spaces, our safe community, our safe partners. And, you know, I just really hope that we learn to let go with ease. We learn to let go with grace. So that is actually a really good segue towards the downloads. And for me, what I've been feeling and hearing is that right now there's a very important lesson. The card already fell out. Fertility. There's a really important lesson. We'll get into that in a little bit. There's a very important lesson when it comes to letting go, learning how to let go, not getting it and letting go for the sake of allowing to receive, letting go so that you can make that room and that space to align to what you're supposed to receive, what you actually do want, right? Letting go so that we're now no longer focusing on what we don't want, right? What didn't go right, but starting to put our focus and living in the energy of what we want and what could come into our lives. So that's something that I've been hearing and feeling very clearly, of learning to let go. A lot of videos have been popping up on my YouTube about letting go and those lessons, and I've had to let go a lot this year. And honestly, this friendship situation could have gotten me more bitter, but I'm honestly just like, what can I do, you know? Like, all I can do is let go and trust that spirit has something better for me, you know, like I heard that day, that moment. And all I could really do is just like wish that person the best, you know, for being in my life up until the time that they were, and just letting it be, you know. My life's gonna keep going, you know. I have and people are gonna come into my life, right? New people are gonna come into my life. My life has not ended. I have not stopped living. Everything's gonna continue. So I'm really, as opposed to being stuck and upset and caught up and being angry, belief. I'm not shuffling to pull cards yet, but it's interesting that they're already falling out. So I'm just gonna keep these two out. Ooh, and at the bottom, universal love. Hell yeah. I might have to put on my glasses. I try to be cute, but I can't see. There we go. So, where was I? Okay, so the downloads, letting go, actually learning how to let go, not holding that resentment, right? Not sitting with a resentment, not sitting with a what could have been, not sitting with the what could have been. Yeah, that's important. Not sitting with the what could have been, because there's an acceptance to it, and that it is what it is. It is what it is. One of my friends says this: it is what it is, and it's not what it's not, right? So like, it just, like, me with this friendship, like, I was very disappointed. I was very shocked that this is the way that it ended, but that's just the way that it is, right? Like, I can't change the past. I can't go back and change the past. I just have to accept that this is the way that things happen, and this is the way, and maybe she had to do this in such a painful way so that spirit made the situation so that I wouldn't be called back into that type of relationship anymore, because I feel like there was a lot of dishonesty within that. So I'm not saying this to blast the person. I'm just saying, like, this experience is showing me a lot. It's showing me a lot about me. It's showing me a lot about my relationship to people, how I relate to people, and that's why I'm sharing it. So letting go, accepting, not wishing that things were different, and trying to see the lesson in that situation, right? Sorry, I've drank a lot of water today, but it's hot and the sun was on my head, so I feel like I have a little headache. So that's one of the downloads. And then the other download that I got actually last night was that heaven and hell are happening at the same time in the same place, so on earth. And that really ties into the duality, right? Duality, and a lot of what we're learning right now. Sorry, one sec. One of the dogs wants to go in. Okay, this is gonna be a long video. And the fact that we are living in times where we are supposed to expand to experience the duality, right? So if you're the type of person who's just like trying to push all the negative away, or if you're the type of person who's trying to push all the positive away, you are not becoming whole. You are not allowing yourself to understand the totality of what it is to be a human. You're not allowing other people to show you the wholeness and the totality of them. And you're also viewing life only through one lens, right? You're only trying to view life through one lens, as opposed to recognizing that you are able to see both things and make a decision and use your energy to bring in more light, right? Essentially, to bring in more of that heaven, if that's what you believe in. On the other hand, why I'm mentioning this, or why this came up, is because we're living in times of genocide, of continual genocide, of continual colonization, and we're watching it live streamed on our phones 24/7, and a lot of people are trying to escape it, to create this fake heaven, right? To create this fake sense of normality, right? This illusion that everything's okay, but in that they're creating hell. So really what I feel is that, like, these things are in our hands. Like how you experience life, it's a lot of it is in your hands. What reality, which reality we're all collectively experiencing, right? I feel like right now as a collective, with capitalism, with white supremacy, no one's happy. Like no one's happy. Everyone's living a different level of hell within their own lives, and it's related to and connected to, you know, colonialism, capitalism, and white supremacy, right? At least 98% of my traumas, no, I would even say 100% of my traumas are because of colonization, white supremacy, racism, and capitalism. So we've all kind of have fed that reality, and we all in it, even within our own lives, create hell, right? Because of all of these isms really infiltrate into our own personal lives, whether we like to admit it or not, or reflect on it or not, and then we end up perpetuating that pain and that violence onto other people. So right now we're being called in to do that very deep work, and to be able to hold heaven and hell, to be able to hold grief and joy all in the same time. And I keep talking about this expanding yourself, right? Instead of contracting when something negative happens, when something you don't like happens, when you see something you don't like, throwing your phone, expand, right? Can you find compassion? Can you find compassion for the people who are suffering? Can you find compassion for yourself when you're going through something difficult? Can you find compassion for a person even though they hurt you? And that's really how we start balancing the scales of justice again, right? I really love this tarot reader. She goes by Queen Cup. Her channel is Queen Cup. I don't know if she'll ever watch this, but I love her. I've been watching her for years. She is just like on the dial tone, energetically, always picking up on what's happening within the collective. Definitely a huge inspiration to me as a reader, to come out here and actually start sharing. And I really appreciate her because she's raw. She doesn't try to be all, como se dice, like all high and mighty, or all, like, she doesn't try to pretend like she's not going through all these spiritual lessons like the rest of us. You know what I mean? Like, she's very real in that sense. And also I use her frankincense, smudge a lot. So that's what I burn. It's very similar to what I would burn in a poposhkomet, which is copal. That's the medicine from certain parts of Mexico, central Mexico. But I ran out of all of mine, and now I have frankincense. So I'm really happy with this medicine, and have been using it in all my readings. So shout out to Queen Cup if you ever watch this. So yeah, I would say those right now are two really big lessons, I would say. And then if all of you feel it, I don't know if you guys are feeling it, but things are starting to pick up with energy, right? Especially with this full moon in Sag, right? These endings are going to be shut. Like, this is kind of like closing the book. We're moving on, right? Letting go. It's time to move forward, right? In ¿cómo se dice? I don't want to say in a positive way, in an optimistic way, right? And that's very much, yes, how I've been feeling. But also because Sagittarius energy is very optimistic. It's very positive. It's very, let's go. Let's hit the next adventure. What's next? we're not gonna sit around and wait, right? We're gonna go get it. So sorry, I'm sitting on like some leaves. So that's definitely, those are, I would say, 3 themes that I have been picking up on within the last month, I would say. So now we're going to go ahead and get into a prayer, get into the cards. Sorry, I have all these little critters around me. Okay. Omete. Tlaskamati, Great Spirit. Tlaskamati, Omete. Tlaskamati, Ancestors. Divine cosmic energy for this day, for this light, for this sun, for this weather, for the trees, for the plants, for all the little animals. Thank you so much for everything that you give us, Great Spirit. Every day, the food in our fridge, our homes, the roof over our heads, our animal companions, our friends, our community. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us. Tlaskamati to Nanatonansin, Great Mother Earth, for the food you give us, the abundance that you give us, the abundance that you show us, and all the love and the warmth and the strength that we see from you, Great Spirit. Great Spirit of the Earth. Tlaskamati to Tatay Hekat, Tatatonatiu, for keeping us going, keeping us moving, bringing freshness, bringing clarity into our lives. Thank you, Father of the Sky, Mother of the Sky, Father of the Earth, Mother of the Earth, angels, guardians, and guides, for all the lessons, all the blessings that you give us, that you bring into our lives every day. Thank you for not abandoning us. Thank you for staying right next to us, even if we make bad decisions or decisions that are gonna teach us greater lessons. Thank you so much, Great Spirit, for being here with us. I invite you, I welcome you to come in, to have this conversation with me and with a collective, whoever is going to be watching this, whoever will benefit from these words, from this reading. Please, Spirit, clear my thoughts, clear my mind, clear my spirit, clear my heart, so that I'm able to clearly deliver these messages to the collective for their greatest good, for their highest good, so that they're able to connect to their sacred, so that they're able to connect to their sacred mission, so that they're able to connect to their higher self, so that they're able to get closer to the love that's the revolutionary love within themselves, for themselves, so that they can connect to their healing, to their next steps of healing. Great Spirit, may this help folks move forward, validate their growth, their lessons, or wherever they are at the moment. Thank you so much, Great Spirit. Thank you. My roommate just got home. And I really do hope that these messages, as I'm learning how to become a better reader, are able to serve people. Lots of hearts, which in this tarot deck is cups. So, okay, interesting. Yeah, some of us are not seeing the lessons and the pain, are choosing to stay stuck in the pain. Maybe what I heard is choosing to perpetuate pain as well. else, Spirit? What else do you want us to know for this full moon in Sagittarius, Sun in Gemini? What's going to help us in our greatest good and the collective's greatest good? What are the lessons? Okay. Interesting. We're gonna stay outside until the sun goes down completely, so hopefully, I mean, we're already 40 minutes in, so what else should the collective know, Great Spirit? I'm going to shuffle a couple more times, see if anything else comes up. If not, here we have 6 cards already. What does this mean, Great Spirit? Sorry, I thought a bug fell on my leg. Can you give us one final card to wrap this reading up, to clarify this reading? Full moon in Sag, Sun in Gemini. How can we best... Oh, here we go. Okay. As you can tell, I'm very private. Let me just get a little bit more. Copal going as we get started. Okay, we're burning a big chunk, so it just stays on. Okay. Hey. Okay. It's okay. All right, let's get ready. So at the bottom of the deck, we have how do I say this card in English? I think this is like kind of equivalent to the Hermit, like a teacher at the bottom of the deck, learning lessons, finding lessons. At the top of the deck we have the Fool, very much still coming off of, this was a card that I was getting a lot, or that I was pulling a lot for people I was reading for the eclipse season. So it seems like we're still in that energy, right? The Fool is the first card, similar to Aries of the zodiac, right? Taking leaps of faith, kind of without really thinking them through. Although I don't know if I love that saying about Aries. I mean, yes, sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us, but sometimes we overthink things. But for the cards that I pulled out right now, we have the Five of Cups, or the Five of Hearts, and as you can tell here, this person is very devastated over the 3 hearts, cups that have been spilled, and is, because of his pain, choosing to kind of sit in that pain, as opposed to looking at and appreciating the fact that he still has 2 cups remaining, and appreciating that those 2 cups are still standing and there for him if he so chooses to, remove his arm from his eyes and turn around and acknowledge them and appreciate them. They are there to serve him. So this is telling me that some of us in the collective, right, are not letting go with grace, or not letting go in a way that is calming of the nervous system, that is in a way that is like allowing these things, this accepting and allowing again, right? We're in this energy where we are attached to the outcome, where we are attached to even the loss within itself, and are refusing in that sense to accept it and to let it go, and to just turn around and pick up kind of and pick up, right, and using the image of the card, and pick up the 2 hearts and move forward, right, and keep going, because you can see here also there's no other obstacle, there's nothing, holding this person in this energy except for themselves. So definitely, like, I've been hearing a lot too of, like, sometimes we don't realize that we are our own, like, how do I say this? I don't want to say that we're our own worst enemy, even though that's true, but how we stand in our own way sometimes, right? By not accepting things and allowing them and just letting go. So definitely, I feel for folks that are in this energy. I think that a important message in this card is, if only you would turn around and look at these 2 hearts and move into and shift into the energy of appreciation, then you align with what's more to come, right? In a sense, saying like we are destined sorry, we are destined for this abundance, right? For all of this abundance, for all of these options, for all this. For me, this card, to me, it screams like satisfaction. And I think more than like external satisfaction, right, which might be like a pentacle, this to me talks about internal satisfaction, internal abundance, realizing like no matter what I go through, no matter what situation no matter what I have to lose, like I am abundant within myself. I am satisfied within myself, right? This is someone who's coming to a spiritual and an emotional place where maybe there's not a whole lot of physical materials, right? These cards are not about physical materials. They're all about, the cups, the emotional world, the spiritual world, the internal world, I would say, more so. And here's a person who is in a place where they feel satisfied, right, with themselves. And this is, right, if you notice, it's not quite the 10 of Cups, right? We're not at that completion yet and with that partner yet, but it is feeling whole, feeling complete, feeling satisfied, feeling content with all the work that you've done, even if you're alone, right? Even if you, like I said, if you look to one side of you, there's nobody there. If you look at the other side, there's nobody there. But are you happy with kind of the lessons that you've accumulated and the person that you are now, right? That's the real that's the real win, I would say, right? That's the real win, is being in this place where you are able to hold yourself and say, I'm proud of you for working so hard as you have to get us here, and feeling that satisfaction. So congratulations, because it is not easy. It requires a lot of, I would say, like psychology. It requires a lot of rewiring of your brain, right? Creating new neural pathways of thinking, because with trauma our brains are so set to think a certain way that it's very subconscious to us, and that's just how we think, right? So like this to me shows that some of us have done a lot of that work to really do the work literally in our brains, literally internally, so that we are able to go through something hard, lose someone, lose something, and say, you know what, like, I'm really proud of myself. I'm really happy with where I am emotionally, spiritually, internally. I feel calm. I feel satisfied. And I would say that that's a huge, huge win, especially when we're in a system that, wants us to react, wants us to get exhausted, wants us to lash out at people. And sometimes it's necessary. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, you don't have to tell some people off, because you do, and I'm here for it. But I'm glad that we're learning that sometimes doing that isn't good for us, right? Sometimes doing that takes a lot more energy from us, to do those things. So congratulations to you all. Then we have Yoloya Whiskey. So lots of cups in the start. So we're all kind of in our feels this month. And I think this card is I think he's the king. I think he's the King of Hearts. I'm gonna read it off the book. Because I've said it to people when I read for them, but this deck is like very, very complex. The stories are different and the meanings are different from the traditional tarot, which I like, but it's definitely a challenging deck for me. Oh no, this is the Heart Warrior. Ooh, all the love warriors. Sorry. So this is too close. This is the book or the tarot, Uarhiiti.Tsitsiti, the tarot that I use. But anyways, so yeah. I have ADHD, guys. I think I said it in my first video. If you fuck with kind of the rhythm, my scatteredness, cool. If you don't, that's also cool. you may leave. But here we go. So the Yoaquiski, or heart warrior, is represented by a Quetzal king. His Quetzal helmet, from whose open mouth he peers, is a symbol often used to describe an individual's nawali. Ooh, my eye itches. I hope all these bird sounds are captured. It's one of my favorite things in the morning and as the sun goes down. Anyways, okay. Or spirit animal. His heart, soul, takes the form of a quetzal in the spirit world, which symbolizes growth, wisdom, knowledge, and the fertile months of the summer rain. Its emerald plumage is like the newly sprung corn plant and signifies life and beauty. His helmet is winged to symbolize a soaring imagination, intuition, and intelligence. His body is painted yellow, a color associated with femininity, for he is in tune with the feminine aspect of his being, but which is also associated with the teteot of corn, light, and summer rains. His face is painted red, which is the color of blood, sacrifice, death, life, and the rays of the sun. He wears beautiful and costly ornaments of jade and turquoise, for his mashat, or loincloth, is the same as that worn by Xochipilli, the youthful god of dance, song, play, sexuality, the arts, two-spirit people, and pleasure. He is armed, but he is not violent. He walks atop the wave the wave of the sea. The rolling waters represents emotion and the turbulent life of our inner selves, but he walks across its surface untroubled and completely in control, right? So doing this work internally, right, to where we no longer get caught up in these turbulent waters, right? But finally being in a place where we're able to gracefully, I wouldn't say control, but where we're gracefully able to, manage and coexist with those feelings, and at the same time not get completely consumed in them, right? This is feeling, right? Feeling your emotions, being present in them, but not being consumed by it. Which is hard to do. So congratulations. This is a beautiful energy to be in. Beautiful, beautiful card. I definitely feel it too. So shout out to all the heart warriors out there. The heart warrior is the card which is most associated with romance. He represents an individual for whom intuition flows freely like the waves of the sea on which he walks, and who is in harmony with his emotions. He is compassionate for understanding his own emotions. So, right, showing compassion of self, is fascinated by them and listens and grows through their influence. Oh, I see. I read that wrong. Okay. He is charming and fascinates those around him, for he intuitively understands others, is fascinated by them, and listens and grows through their influence. He is a warrior, yet understands and is in touch with his omesiwat aspect, the feminine truth which is within him. His heart, soul, his theolia, is brimming with truth, energy, kindness, and love, which radiates from his person and fills the world about him. Which radiates from his person and fills the world about him. All of Uarhiiti, or warrior cards, represent individuals on a quest. The heart warrior is ruled by the heart. He seeks romance, beauty, compassion, or love. He is guided by altruism. He feels for the downtrodden and loves his fellow man. The youth of heart dreams, the youth of hearts dreams, but the heart warrior has turned dreaming into action and has joined in the battle for justice and love. Ooh. I definitely feel that because, right, look at how different these two energies are. Just from this image, who looks to you like they are more ready to serve justice and love, to be a warrior for justice and love, right? And oftentimes, and I'll share this, and I speak for myself too. Sorry, airplane. Lots of noises right now. We'll see how this sounds later. Good thing I'm recording it on my iPad. Ooh. I just hope I don't get bit up. Okay. Right, so like when we are like when things, very traumatizing things have happened in our lives, right? We experience trauma. It's hard to not identify with our trauma, especially if the trauma hasn't stopped, if it's just continual, if it's just recent, right? It's really hard to see outside of that. But living in that energy, and this is something I didn't realize until actually right now, is that after a while you start becoming really selfish, right? Because you're moving around and connecting with people through a lens of I don't have enough, and look at what happened to me, and this victimhood. And it doesn't allow you to experience joy. It doesn't allow you to feel love, to listen to others. It doesn't allow, being in this energy doesn't allow you to be open to other people, right? And huge lessons for me too, because that's a huge realization that I've actually had within the past month. And then coming into this energy, right, where this being is charming and fascinates those around him, for he intuitively understands others, is fascinated by them, listens and grows through their influence, right? His heart soul is brimming with truth, energy, kindness, and love, which irradiates from his person and fills the world about him. So the heart warrior turns dreaming into action and has joined in the battle for justice, right? So being in this energy, we can't join that battle for love and justice, right? We're only going to, join that battle for our own benefit, right? So that we can get back what we've lost, right? Instead of moving about from this energy of right, this person looks like they know themselves, they have, right, and I'll just use it because it says it in the card, right, they have control over their emotions, so they don't let their emotions come out and live out these emotions and these needs, these selfish needs from victimhood, to be the ones that are interacting with humans, right, with their surroundings, right? But instead this comes from a deep knowing and coming deep knowing of self, and also coming to a point within yourself that you are able to live with the turbulent waters of our emotions, right? Being this person does not mean that you're not going to feel fear, that you're not going to get screwed over by people, that you're not going to, go through any of these human relational conditions that we all go through. It just means that this person stands above that, right? Stands not in like a hierarchical, like I'm better than you type of way, but stands above it because his greater mission is to bring love and justice, right? It's the greater mission that he's looking for, right? That he's working towards, right? So a lot of us, I think, if you've been wondering, like, why am I going through this? Why am I losing all these people? Like, how should I react to this is think about it in the sense of how can I regulate my nervous system, right? How can I kind of walk on those turbulent waters, right? But still be present, right? And not allow them to consume me. And then what is the greater mission, right? What is it that I need to not lose track of right now in this moment, right? So that's something that I would say is really, really coming through in this reading. The next card that we have is the Four of Swords. This is the Four of Tekpatl in this deck. And this talks about moments right before death, right? Moments right before self-sacrificing, right? Self-sacrificing. This person kind of has accepted their fate, right? That they are no longer going to be on this planet, that they are no longer going to be this individual. But this card is also about transformation, right? And transforming to become that morning star that essentially guides others, right? That essentially right through their suffering. And I don't want to romanticize suffering, guys, because this shit's freaking hard. It's so freaking hard. I don't know too many people that can live the life that I've lived, and I honestly don't wish this on anybody, unless they really needed these lessons, you know, and they made this agreement with spirit. Clearly I did, right? But I'm glad because I'm not ashamed of where I come from and what I've been. I'm who I am because of it, you know what I mean? So don't let other people make you feel ashamed because you're not where they're at. Right? I don't know too many people who would be able to go through the shit that I've gone through and be able to come out of this with the kind fucking heart that I have. So I'm not gonna keep selling myself short in that realm. Anyways, back to where we were. So this card is really about transformation, right? Understanding that this sacrifice that you're going through, that the sacrifice that the collective is going through, right? And I think about this card also in the sense of all of the students across the country, across the world, setting encampments in their university. Just yesterday or this morning, the university that I go to, they just, violently raided the encampment of people that are just really just trying to say, like, this is unnecessary, right? This war is unnecessary. This genocide is unnecessary, and it's fueled by racism, and it's fueled by white supremacy, and it's fueled by colonialism and just wanting, and land theft, and wanting to, and just hatred, honestly, and just wanting to, take land, take those natural resources that are there on the earth, underneath the ocean, and they just want to exploit that to continue to make this world, hell, like I was saying before. So a lot of these students and reporters in Palestine and people that are just live streaming this horrible fucking genocide that is happening to them with no escape. Those people that are putting their bodies, are sacrificing themselves putting themselves on the front lines, are sacrificing themselves to bring this light into the world, to remind us of humanity, to show us of our sacred responsibility towards love and justice, our sacred responsibility towards each other, right? Sacrificing yourself, right? This person sacrificing themselves for the enlightenment of other people. So again, a lot of the readings that I do, and I've said this if you follow me on Instagram, is that I read for the warriors of love. I read for the warriors of justice. So my readings are going to talk about that, right? And these cards talk about that because these are cards that have Mexica ancestral traditions within them, in which we valued community, in which we valued the collective. So that's what we're going to get. That's what we're going to get in this reading. So I definitely want to give, uplift that and just share that in whichever way that you feel called to transform, to bring more light and love into this world in order to help another human being, please, move towards that calling. Don't ignore that calling, because right now we need humanity. Right now we need people to remember love and compassion and community and togetherness more than anything. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for always reminding us of our sacred mission. Thank you. Okay. Next we have the 10 of Wands. And I'm going to read this one out of the book too. Okay. In the Maxtlactli Topili card, a man walks towards a nearby town, a collection of 10 staff carried across his back. He is weighed down with his heavy burden, but he does not pause or rest. Rather, he carries on, for his goal is in sight. 5 of the staff are Shiutopili, flowering turquoise staff, while the other 5 are Tlatlopili, the thorn-lined staff of the earth. The earth staff suggests the work, the suffering, and the sacrifice he has undertaken. The turquoise staff suggests that his burden is not without its pleasures, and the happiness he feels in the certainty that he is close to achieving his goal. He wears a red cinta or headband, which suggests that he is a follower of the middle path and keeps the sacred teachings of the ancestors and the Teteot. They have taught him the necessity of patience, hard work, and sacrifice in order to be in balance with Ometeot. A village lies before him. To his right are the villagers' house of adobe with straw roofs. They are humble but clean, organized, and well tended. Bunches of maize hang from the roof of the nearest house, suggesting plenty and freedom from want. And maguey flowers before this house. The maguey provides all of the necessities of life: food, medicine, shelter, and clothing. Its flowers suggest poetry and art. He labors, but through his labor, all his necessities are met. To his left is the village temple. It too is humble. It is small and made of adobe and wood, but it likewise is freshly painted and well tended. The home suggests the material things of life, while the temple, the spiritual. It's unclear where he is taking his burden. His collection of staff could suggest work that will improve his life materially or spiritually. He labors alone. This could suggest a different reading. This could suggest a different reading that he does not know how to share or delegate responsibilities and will soon find himself worn out by his obligation. It asks the Quran to examine one's life and determine whether the burden one has placed on themselves is truly sustainable. With a 10 of staff, he reaches his goal and is soon to lay down his burden. He has perhaps taken on more than he had expected and is feeling enervated from work. Yet he knows that his labor has not been in vain. Material and spiritual successor are his reward. Right? So again, right, doing all of this work, this card again is talking about sacrificing oneself for the spiritual and material things that, you know, we can attain within this lifetime. And at the same time, I really do like that they're talking about being humble and going to a community that is humble, right? That finds everything that they need within the earth. And, right, working, right, the laborer works for everything that he has, right? So putting in that work, understanding and reframing our relationship with our work, and looking at our lives and in what areas are we investing energy that is actually going to bring fruits into our lives, is actually going to bring growth into our lives, right? Are we working so hard in order to, you know, attain a super luxurious life, right? Because then you know, that might feel like a burden after a while, right? And then also, what type of person, what type of human do you become in that, right? I want to believe that people with a lot of money can be spiritual, can have a deep spiritual connection. But like for me, it just always feels a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to project. But anyways, maybe that's a possibility for you, right? So just making sure that you're able to balance how hard you're working with, am I also feeling joy? Are these things that I'm investing in also, you know, feeding me, are also taking care of me, right? So it is that, let me sacrifice because I know that in that sacrifice there's a reciprocity, right? And Spirit is telling us that there's a reciprocity within that, right? And then we have the Ace of Swords, the Waitekbat. I'm also going to read this one out of the book because, again, these are very, very different, right? In the traditional tarot, I could just say, and I have to go to the bathroom, I could just say, that's why I'm squirming. In the traditional tarot, I could just, whoa. Okay. Let me actually just go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back. I'm just going to keep it rolling. You could see the moon. Wait. No, right there. Okay. I feel much better. Okay. In case y'all were wondering. Okay, so we have Uarhiiti.Tsitsiti. So I won't read the whole meaning. So the Tekpat blade can easily inspire fear, for it is associated with death, sacrifice, and blood. It is born in the night, which is the home of darkness, in the place of chaos and destruction. Yet the village revealed by the light of the moon is neat, orderly, and productive. Fear is dispelled and order reigns. Through sacrifice, the willingness to forget our own desires for the sake of our families, where was I? The necessity to work hard instead of the play which one might desire. One builds, creates, and grows the order and stability necessary for the deeper things in life. The Uarhiiti.Tsitsiti card asks you to grasp fearlessly onto sacrifices necessary and the work ahead. And I think that just really sums up the right, like this portion of the reading, right? We got 3 cards that are talking about sacrifice, right? That are telling us to not look at those sacrifices, right? And the things that we lose and the things that are necessary, that it's their time for us to let go, to look at them as something that is necessary, and for us to continue to keep going, right? We're being asked to keep going. Yes, we're having to sacrifice, right? So like I said, how can you sacrifice? How can you transform, right? Which is within itself a sacrifice, right? How can you transform yourself in order to be someone who brings in light into this world, to be a warrior of love, to be a warrior of justice, right? And you know, using using our intelligence, right? Swords is about the head, right? About the mind. So using this beautiful, you know, this beautiful and amazing technology, which is our brain, to be able to do that work that is necessary. And what is the work? Well, what we were just talking about in the beginning, right? Are you going to you know, are you going to be a person that perpetuates hell on this earth? Or are you the type of person that's willing to do everything necessary to try to help people within your life, within your community, right? Give people a little piece of heaven, right? Because it is inevitable, right? This destruction, the downfall of capitalism. I was just watching this reel yesterday, and a person was saying, like, there's no way of stopping the fall and the destruction of capitalism, right? What we can do is fill in those gaps, right? Within the collective, within our community, with love, with compassion, and with a little self-sacrifice, right? A little bit of selflessness, a little less individualism, right? And being able to, and a little bit more kindness. I don't like the word nice, because to me, nice is you're trying to be nice, right? Whereas kind, it's who you are, right? Being kind is who you are. So, you know, I think this is a really beautiful message, you know, inviting us to grow spiritually, to grow, to change our perception about life, to change our perception about people and things, and to do the work necessary in order to, you know, take care of our communities, in order to take care of our people. And I think that's just such a beautiful, beautiful message. for this energy, because I see it, and I know that a lot of people wish that, you know, those of us who talk about Palestine would just shut up, but they don't understand how significant and how deeply, deeply spiritual this is, and how saying something and saying nothing, they're both very loud, and they're both doing something, right? Like, they're still moving the needle towards one way or the other, right? Staying silent, perpetuating hell. Speaking up, bringing in more light into this world, right? I don't see anything wrong in speaking up the truth, right? I don't see anything wrong in and just saying things how they are, right? We're not making any of this shit up. We're watching it happen, right? So for me, it's that of like remembering who we are, what our sacred mission is. And I know I talk about this often in my readings, but the cards come out, so I just gotta read them. And we do have one last card, Uarhiiti. So another staff card here, another wand card, which is fire. I'm gonna read this one out of the book. I started reading like each meaning out of the book every night, but I'm really like a person that needs to take notes, so if I don't have notes, it's really hard for me to remember. ADHD. Okay. And then after this, it's just gonna speed up more. So the Uarhiiti is he is brave and adventurous. He starts his journey into the unknown without fear. He is at a point in his journey where he feels the need to move restlessly forward and undertake any adventure or challenge. Unlike the King of Staff, however, he is not yet at the point of his journey where he can inspire others to join him. He excites admiration in others and joy in his determination. The danger in his path does not intimidate him, but rather excites him. His time is at hand, and he moves forward, ready for what lies ahead. So that to me really talks about that energy, right? The energy similar to this, right? They're both moving forward, very similar energy, right? This one's a little bit more softer. He's a little bit more passionate moving forward, right? But they're both moving the same direction, right? Fire and water, at La Chinole, you know? This beautiful energy of water and fire moving us forward, calling us forward, right? What, like, with love and compassion, moving with, you know, and for justice. And then we also got the energy of this same movement forward, right? Which is similar to what I was talking about with Sagittarius, the full moon in Sagittarius, moving forward. No one's gonna stop this person, you know. No fear, no nothing's gonna scare him, because he knows that what's on the other side of fear, right, is that possibility, right? On the other side of our fears is the possibility of what if it does work? What if we can, right? What if we can build community? What if we can build a healthier economic system, right? And I don't want to say economic because ill, but a better system of abundance that is able to spread that around, and where we're able to share that around. So what are you imagining, right? What do you envision for our collective? what type of world do you want to build? And start moving towards that. Even in small ways, start creating that type of reality within your life, right? Start finding small pockets, small ways that you can bring more of that justice, love, compassion, a little bit of sacrifice for the people that you love, for the people that are around you. Okay? So that was the tarot. Maybe I should leave these out. I'll leave them out. Now we're going to do a couple oracle. I know we're already, thank you so much. We're already an hour and 30 minutes in. So I'll do the psychic tarot oracle. Taskamati, Great Spirit, angels, guardians, guides. The guides that, and the planets also that guide the collective, that guide generations. Thank you so much for giving us this fire, this passion, so that we're able to look past fear and move towards being able to liberate ourselves and offer a happier life for all life on this planet. Taskamati, Great Spirit, angels, guardians, and guides, for everything that you do, everything that you give us, all the moments of joy, and all the moments that make us even more grateful for joy. Please share with us. We welcome you to continue this conversation and share with us another message for this full moon in Sagittarius, Sun and Gemini energy that we're in. Thank you for everything that you've already shared with us this far. Couple flipped over. You can definitely see the moon now. You know, just hanging out with us right over here. Popping in to say hi. Make a cameo in the video. Oh my god. What is the message? What is the message you would like us to hear? That you would like us to know? That is going to help the collective consciousness step into or integrate a new lesson. Thank you so much, Spirit. Divine energy, for everything you've already done for us. Okay. So a few of them fell out. We have deception and envy, mental conflict, emotional withdrawal, and base chakra. So right now I'm seeing that a lot of kind of going back to this card. I feel like that this is it was a Four of Cups. Right, it's that energy of mental conflict, emotional withdrawal. Right, I'm currently learning about like isolation, because I tend to isolate a lot from people. But it seems like some of us are very much like not in the great space mentally, and we're going through a hard time emotionally. And the fact that the base chakra is here tells me that Some of us are dealing with feelings of insecurity within our material world, right? So financially, like financial stability, not mental stability, but yes, mental stability, financial stability, just, you know, the base chakra talks all about our ability to feel, you know, safe within this world, within our bodies, and some of us aren't. So I'll just leave it there with this one. I'm gonna read Deception and Envy because I think that's interesting. Anyways, if this reading so far has kind of or has connected with you in a way, or has validated something for you, please let me know in the comments. I do want this to be, como se dice, I do want this to be interactive, and yeah, I would just like to see like what type of people my reading is connecting with. I have allergies, guys, so like everything in the air is just like making my throat itchy. Anyways, this is Deception and Envy, and it says, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. This card comes at a time when individuals or conditions aren't what they appear to be. How well do you really know the people around you? Ooh. Okay. This one feels personal. Are they telling you everything you need to know? In business, make sure you gather all the necessary information so that you're aware and understand all the facts before. I can't see anymore. All the facts before continuing. You worked hard. Don't let others take from you what is rightly yours. Unfortunately, some people may be envious of your accomplishments. The card also represents a time of sudden and unexpected changes, or when plans that you're undertaking may not turn out exactly the way you envisioned. Have a plan B as a fallback strategy to prevent future problems. Use this card as a reminder to be prepared. It's better to be safe than sorry. So this is nice. It's a forewarning. So I feel like this maybe is just for like a couple of few people. Right? So definitely, I would say definitely like not staying below the radar, but just being very cautious, right? Like moving forward very cautiously. And yeah, unfortunately, you know, those changes, kind of similar to my experience that I talked about in the beginning, are happening. Don't get caught up in it. Just, you know, let's keep moving forward. And let's not swoop down to and give that same energy, right? Let's not perpetuate that energy. Then we have mental conflict. Okay. And this card tells us that it deals with the inability to move forward. Again, the inability to move forward. Sorry. Ooh. As self-doubt emerges from indecisiveness or not being able to take action with a person, group, or even a situation in your present life. It may not be an easy decision, but you're already aware of this. Just remember that you have the strength, courage, and power necessary, and power to make all the necessary considerations. When you decide to act and finally make the choice that needs to be made, then and only then will resolution be forthcoming, and with it, a sense of mental relief. There's assistance out there for you, so seek out and listen to wise counsel and help you make the right decision. Listen to your intuition and have faith in yourself. Peace and harmony will soon be yours. So this might be related to, right, this person. Maybe there's someone in your circle that you're feeling distrustful about. Right, the cards are telling us, follow your gut. That's coming up for a reason. In my situation, my gut was I was having a couple gut feelings beforehand. But I just really wanted to believe what this person was telling me, right? So in this situation, definitely listen to your gut beforehand. So interesting that these cards were coming out. It's getting a little dark. We just have one more deck. Maybe the light will, I don't know, I kind of like it. Okay. So we have emotional withdrawal. And this says, this card represents moving away or withdrawing from a current situation in your life. Whether it's an old love, a relationship, or leaving behind what was once familiar in search of a new horizon or beginning. Oh my goodness. On a physical level, it's easy to get caught up in the materialistic world, but it's just as important to retreat from the outside world to enable you to pause, reflect, and heal. Schedule some alone time so you can commune with your soul and give the power of spirit the opportunity to resolve your energy levels. Give you the vitality to move forward in a positive direction. The number 8 represents infinity, passion, control, and power. This is your time. Use this opportunity to tap into your heart and soul in order to find the courage and strength to continue your journey into that wonderful and undiscovered territory. Moving forward without fear. Right, but what gets you to the place where you don't find fear is that security within yourself, right? Knowing that you can overcome. Let me turn on the light, guys. Oh. Can you turn on the light for me, please? Thank you. Oh, thank you. The dogs wanted to be out here with me. This is kind of nice. I might just do these like nightly readings, maybe start a fire in the back. I'm kind of really liking this. So, okay. Now we're going to go with and then the way that we do this, right? The way that we feel more secure and less fear for us to be able to move forward onto that unknown world, right? To creating that unknown world is working with our root chakra, right? You can look up on YouTube yoga, for the root chakra, doing chants, mantras, but it does take work. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna say like all you gotta do is watch 3 YouTube videos, do a couple yoga poses and you'll be good. No, this is deep work. This is our work. This is the work of how we feel, of how much we trust spirit and how we feel connected to our abundance within this reality. So it's not easy, but we can do it. We can do it. Thank you so much, Great Spirit, for everything that you've already shared with us this far. Please share with us one last message on how we can activate this energy, how we can move into our fearlessness, how we can connect with our community, to find out who our community is. Ooh, that was that was the one. Okay. Okay. Can you give us a card for this full moon in Sagittarius? That one, did you guys see that? Discernment. Ooh. Ooh. We gotta be careful out here. At the bottom of it is the throat chakra. Very in line with Gemini energy. Gemini is, I believe the planet, it's ruled by Mercury, which is all about communication. So speaking up, definitely the time. Let's see what was at the top. Compassion. Compassion was at the top. So I'll just read the ones that fell out. So we have crown chakra. You guys can't see this anymore. It's too dark. Crown chakra. Miracle. Which I love that that's the number 33. I just turned 33 this year. And then discernment. Right, so these are the, this is the, did I already show it to you? Sacred Geometry activation deck. My little brother put me onto this. He also reads tarot. Shout out to my brother, who probably will never watch this, but that's cool because I inspired him in real life. Okay. So, this says, I honestly can't see anymore. Yikes. I'm at that age, guys. I don't know how to... This, maybe? Is that better? Okay. I hope I don't have to redo this video. But I'm probably going to look scary when I look down. I don't know. How do I do this? Okay. So it says the crown chakra. The frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. Right? That's what we were talking about. I love when the readings are in line. Okay, the light went out. Let me try this. I feel like I need like light coming downward. One sec. Let me try something out. Ooh, that might work. Good thing we're at the end because this is gonna attract bugs, little buggies. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. Okay, the frequency of the crown chakra, the violet flower of life, supports our spiritual connection to the universe and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. The flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures all over the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect at the middle of each circle, creating a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all of the separate components of the universe work together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connection as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. The color violet is associated with the seventh or crown chakra located at the top of the head. It is associated with our personal spiritual connection to universe and source. Violet has the highest frequency in the visible spectrum of light and is therefore linked to the flame of transmutation, the violet flame, which burns away all negativity and transmutes it into light. Into light. Violet is the color of cleansing, purification, magic, mystery, and mysticism. Our sense of empathy and unity are associated with this chakra. I love that it said that our sense of unity are associated with this chakra, right? Because not only did we get our connection to the earth with the base chakra, right, but we also got our connection to source and to spirit, right? So right now we're being called to feel that connection, to do what we can to feel that connection. For what? So that we can feel a sense of unity and compassion, and maybe, hopefully, a little sacrifice so that we can bring light, right? And so that we can transmute the negative back into light. So I like this because it does give you little exercises to do. So it says, try this, close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Now get into the thought and the feeling that you are infinitely connected, infinitely connected to the wisdom of the universe. Do you spend time regularly connecting to source? Do you do some type of meditation? Make time to get out of your mind on a regular basis to expand your awareness. So really, really beautiful card. Then we have number 33, right? And that's like very action, right? And you do have to go within to then go outward. But maybe going out with nature, spending some time, still being alone, but spending some time with nature, right? We have the miracle card. Oh, I already showed it to you guys. The frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as a part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible, right? Right, fearlessly moving forward. We don't know what's on the other side, right? He doesn't know where, what, who, when, right? But he's still going, right? Because he has a belief that anything is possible. A miracle can be described as an extraordinary event or occurrence in our everyday reality that cannot be explained within our existing paradigm or belief system, and is therefore attributed to a higher or supernatural cause. I can't see, guys. Our belief in the possibility of miracles is closely connected to our belief in the divine itself, and with that belief, our trust in the unlimited possibilities the universe can provide. In these changing times, multidimensionality is rapidly saturating almost all areas of our lives and beings, right? Multidimensionality. I started this reading by saying that one of the messages is that we're living with multiple realities right now. We're seeing multiple dimensions, right? We're experiencing heaven and hell, two different dimensions, if you will, coexisting all at once, and we're finally able to tap in and recognize this, right? To see it. For those of us who are brave, of course. There's so much we don't understand and cannot explain within our current way of thinking. When we relax and accept that we are in an area of many mysteries yet to be revealed, we can start living our lives with the expectation that miracles and benevolent changes can happen in any moment. In the miracle activation, the color purple indicates the deep connection to the divine or source. The yellow refers to our sense of self as we realize that we are... Ooh, I hope I turn these back on. I didn't. I hope you guys heard me. Ah, oh my God. I'm not doing this video again. So I just hope it works. Especially with that noise. Damn. I don't know. Okay. The yellow refers to our sense of self as we realize that we are spiritual beings in a a corporal body, an expression of the divine. There are 9 light sources around, a number that stands for completion, which we also got. The 9 of Cups, a number that stands for completion and indicates the ultimate realization that we are one with Source. And then it says, try this. Do you believe in miracles? Have you experienced anything that was miraculous? What miracles do you want to happen in your life? What are you doing to make them happen? Do you realize that life is full of miracles, including every child that is born, every breath that we take, and every flower that blooms? Can you think of 5 miracles that you experience every day? Right? Why? Because it's important for us to look at life, right, at what we have, as enough for us to continue, as enough motivation for us to continue to perpetuate beauty and joy into this world. Right? These are miracles, right? Flowers, babies being born, these are miracles. Life continues to give life. So we have to think about what we want to perpetuate. We have discernment. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. Right? We got this card. Right? Some of us have to make a choice, maybe to detach from someone, from a group of people, from a job. Discernment can be described as the ability to perceive or judge well. Now that we are moving into a multidimensional reality dropped for the second time, we are invited to see the polarity and duality with new eyes. Sorry. Living in multidimensionality is about experiencing polarity with discernment, being in balance with it, and moving in harmony with it. Discernment has to do with our inner guide, the higher part of us that is closely connected to Source and can look at things from a perspective of wisdom, maturity, right? Discernment has to do with our inner guide, the highest part of us that is closely connected to Source and can look at things from a perspective of wisdom, maturity, experience, integrity, compassion, and purpose. It is about being in witness mode, being aware without attached to the outcome or direction, right? I was talking about being in the moment, being with the feeling, being with what's happening, but not being absorbed by it, right? Conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all. Balance and infinity, purity and freedom, the 3 circles of discernment, are contained by one larger one, indicating the unity and coherence inside the center of consciousness. 3 is a catalytic number. It stands for an energy that speeds up or creates a reaction between unrelated things without necessarily changing itself. Spirals are like ongoing circles, but they never close, symbolizing that life never repeats the same cycle twice. This is the way that the universal life force ensures ongoing growth and evolution. Try this. Take a moment to go inside and see how you feel. Are you centered? How do you view the world and others around you? Are you kind with your words and your actions? Do you trust your own perception, or are you easily swayed by others' input? Are you observing and listening to others without giving your opinion? Right, so we're really being called in, guys, to really do that deeper inner connection. Some of us are still, really caught up in this energy of lack, in this energy of you know, of fear that if you make, you know, a choice, there won't be something else offered to you. There won't be anything else available. But instead, we're being encouraged to move forward without fear and to, you know, in a sense, you know, fuck around and find out. We're being asked to be brave enough to go after the world that we want to create, right? To be connected, to believe and trust in spirit, and also to connect, to allow our thoughts and actions. It was in my ear. To allow our thoughts and actions to align with spirit and with the rhythm of the earth and with the lessons of the earth, right? Because it is very much alive. This planet is very much alive. And with the planet. So what is all of this trying to tell us? Who are we brave enough to become in this time? The dogs found something. So that is the reading. I just realized I didn't pull from the ancestors, but this is already 2 hours. A bug just flew in my ear, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you so much if you caught this. I hope it helps. Again, if this reading helped you, please if this reading helped you, please share in the comments what resonated with you. If it didn't and you think none of what I said made sense, you are welcome to go look for a reader that does make sense to you, and that does appeal to your heart and soul. No need to be nasty or unkind, and if you are, I will just take that as a you thing than a me thing. So, you know, don't waste your time, I guess, but people will be people. So anyways, I hope that you all really feel empowered with this new full moon in Sagittarius. I hope that you all feel like re-energized with the sun in Gemini. I feel like I definitely do, and definitely feeling a little bit more positive, a little bit more light and graceful, even when the unexpected bumps of life happen. And that's honestly, for me, already so much. That's already, for me, such inner peace, right? And that's what I know it came up in the reading, and that's also what I talked about is, you know, you have to care. Yes, somebody might have trespassed you, but you also have to care about how you're treating yourself in this moment, right? And if the feelings and thoughts that are coming up are conducive to, you know, good feelings for you, and if they're not, you know, journal them, ask them to, you know, settle down for a little bit, and then you'll come back to them, or try to look at it in a different way, but tell yourself that there's options, because there are. And, you know, I just wish for a lot of strength for all of us during these times. And, you know, I really hope that, you know, folks who are healing do find that community and do find people that see them, and support them. Anyways, I'm tired. So thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, maybe I'll do another one of these next month, or whenever I feel called to. I do personal readings. If you're interested in a personal reading, just add it in the comments, and I will tell you how to get in touch with me. Oh, look at this. Now they connect. All right. Thank you all so much. Bye.